how you doing? This is TV and school. Вивчаємо з тобою ми англійську. How are you? Що скажеш, коли ти зустрінеш якогось іноземця? So, let's speak English. Англійська мова Шекспіра та нью-йоркських таксистів. Англійська стане у нагоді вам, бойс і дівчиська.
Hello, grade 9. My name is Anna and this is an English lesson. Today we've finished talking about youth culture and we have a revision lesson. So let's start with revising the vocabulary. It actually was a part of your home assignment for today. So let's take a look. So can you remember the words from our unit? Have a look at the words here. Fashionista is the person that likes fashion a lot. Community. This is a group of people of the same interests. Confidence. That's a feeling that you can do everything. So you are self-confident. What is a trend? Do you remember? This word is connected with fashion. So this is a fashion trend that we use as a phrase to talk about the things that are very popular in fashion. Lifestyle. That's actually the type of life that you lead. It can be healthy lifestyle, it can be an unhealthy lifestyle. It can be active or passive. So, what about the next one? Spendthrift. We would call a person a spendthrift if this person spends much money on clothes. What about a bookworm? Do you remember? A bookworm is a person who is fond of reading. So this person reads a lot of books. What is an outfit? There is a tiny little word in the middle. That's actually a set of clothes that you wear. Hobby. This is a type of leisure activity that people like doing. Item. That's the word that stands for something one, like one thing. Subculture. That's a specific culture, which is not the regular, not the huge overall culture, but this is a culture of some communities, so it's a tiny subculture. Spender is actually a synonym to the word spendthrift, so a person who spends much money on goods and clothes mostly. A cult. Do you remember what it means? It's actually a movement of people that love doing something. Respect. So this is the feeling of liking somebody much, so you feel good about them and you show nice attitude to those people. Youth. Actually, this is a part of the name of our unit. So youth stands for teenagers or young people. The next word is unique. We use it to talk about something special, one of a kind. The next one is weird. The synonym to the word weird would be strange, unusual. Movement. That's actually a massive activity of people. So people do something that is really influential. The next one is culture, the last but one. These are some peculiarities, the features of communities. So the last word is boutique. This is a shop of fashionable clothes, usually quite expensive ones. All right, now that we have revised the words, let's take a look at a word puzzle. So, how many words can you find in 1 minute? Have a look. There are 12 words, and to the right, you can see a puzzle on youth culture, on our topic. So, the words can be across, down, or they can also be a diagonal. So, now you have 1 minute to look for the words in this puzzle. Okay, after 1 minute, let's take a look at the board and you can check yourself. So here we can find the words, and that's how they are organized in the word puzzle. So how many words have you found? Was it difficult? I think in 1 minute, that was quite a challenge. Okay, now let's move to another part. We're going to read a short text, and after this text, you will have to answer the questions. So, the text is about hippies. This is actually a subculture that was popular in the 1960s, in the 1970s of the last century. So, let's read and listen. Yuppies, rave, rockers, teddy boys, grunge. By the late 1960s, the new subculture had appeared. The hippie was originally a movement that arose in the USA and spread to other countries around the world. The hippie movement was based on the concept of non-conforming to social patterns behavior and gentle anarchy. The early hippies created their own communities, attended open-air music festivals, and listened to psychedelic rock. They went shopping at jumble sales and charity shops, wore long-discarded military uniforms and ethnic dress, mixed and matched them to create a unique style. The music was peppered with political messages promoting peace and love. Hippie fashions and values had a major effect on culture and arts. Since 1960s, many aspects of hippie culture have been assimilated by mainstream society. Okay, so now that we know a little bit more about the subculture of hippies, we're ready to check how well you remember the facts from the text. And here we've got the questions. So are the statements true or false? Have a look. Number 1, the hippies appeared in the UK. Is this one correct? What was the country where the hippies appeared? It was not the UK, but it was the USA. So this sentence is false. Number 2, hippies lived among similar people. Did hippies live in their own communities, or did they live with other people who were not hippies? Yeah, actually, they did so. So they did live with similar people, with hippies, so they created their own communities. This statement, as you can see, is true. Number 3, the hippie movement was based on worthy behavior and harmony. So, when we speak about hippies and behavior, what does it mean, worthy? That's actually, in Ukrainian, we will use the word гідний, достойний. Is that true? Well, actually, we know that hippies were kind of disobedient and they were quite rebellious. So, this fact is actually false. So, they were definitely not about good behavior. The next one is number 4. Hippie fashion and values have died out completely by now. So, is it true that there are no more hippies and there is actually no influence that has been made by them on today's culture and today's society? Well, actually, this fact is definitely false. We still have some influences from hippie, promoting peace and love. The main idea was that one, so we still continue sticking to it here today. And number 5, hippies wore military uniforms and ethnic clothes because they wanted to create their own style. Is this fact true? Were they actually using military uniforms in their clothes, in their outfits? Were they using ethnic clothes? Well, yes, of course. This fact is true. They did wear military uniforms and ethnic clothes, and they really wanted to create their own personal hippie style. Okay, well, now that we have revised the vocabulary and we have warmed up a little bit, let's move to some revision as well, another part of our revision. So, this unit we were talking about gerund, which is actually a noun made from a verb by adding ing. So, instead of to read, we will have reading, and that will be a different form of the word. So, to read plus ing is reading. To swim plus ing, swimming, and so on and so forth. I hope you do remember this information. And here we have some examples. We could see them on one of our previous lessons. Let's take a look and quickly revise. Reading helps you learn English. Her favorite hobby is reading. I enjoy reading. So here you can see that the word reading, which is a gerund, functions as a subject or an object. Отже, герунді в даному випадку ing, слово reading, виконує функцію або підмета, якщо він на початку речення, або додатку у кінці речення. So, and there are also some extra rules about using the gerund, of course. The first one, as a noun, subject, we've just seen it. Then, number 2, after a preposition, like I'm tired of waiting for you, or he's very good at dancing, and so on and so forth. So, tiny words such as of, from, with, in, at, and so on and so forth. These are prepositions. After them, we usually use ing. The next one, number 3, of course, that's not the last rule, but this is just a short revision. In the expressions, so there are some expressions that we simply need to memorize. Отже, є певні вирази, сталі вирази, які нам просто необхідно запам'ятати, що саме в них ми використовуємо конкретно форму ing. For example, it's no use doing something, it's no good doing something, and so on and so forth. Okay, now let's practice and let's check how well you remember the structures. Our task is to complete the sentences with the gerunds formed from the infinitives in brackets. So, number 1, the government encourages recycle. So, to recycle is a verb, recycle is the infinitive here, and how will we make the ing? How will we make the gerund? That actually is going to be used here in the form of an object. Отже, в даному випадку у нас тут буде герундій у функції додатка. So, yeah, I think you've already figured out this is recycling. The government encourages recycling. Okay, well, now number 2. She is tired of wash dishes every night. Here we have preposition plus gerund, and we will say that she's tired of washing dishes every night. The next one, number 3. He understood her leave so soon. So, here we will use the form of ing. Don't forget, letter E at the end is taken away, so the word leaving is L-E-A-V-I-N-G. He understood her leaving so soon. The fourth one, he went fish with his father. If we add ing, it will be fishing. So he went fishing. Number 5, he is afraid of take the test. So we need to add ing to take, and that will be he's afraid of taking the test. All right, well done. We're halfway through this exercise. Now let's move to number 6. Kelly suggested take us home. So Kelly suggested taking us home. Number 7, her reaction to win the Oscar was a bit odd. So her reaction to winning, here we will have the double N in the word winning. And it is the gerund, which is, by the way, used after a preposition to. Number 8, he denied take the car. So after certain verbs, we will use the ing. So we'll say he denied taking the car. Number 9, Russell was discouraged by not winning that match. And the last one here, number 10, Shayla is starting work there next week. So Shayla is starting working there next week. All right, well done with this exercise. Now we've just recalled how to make the ing forms of the words. And let's take a look at the words that actually use the gerund after them. They need the gerund or they need the infinitive after them. So, of course, these are not all the verbs that will be followed by gerund or infinitive. There are a lot more of them. But this is just a list that we have already learned. So let's revise. Verb plus gerund. We actually admit doing something, can stand, enjoy, give up, hate, start, or mind doing something. So after these words, we will use ing. Another column, verb plus infinitive. After these verbs, we will use to plus verb. For example, decide to do something, forget to do something, need, refuse, try, want, and would like to do something. Okay, now let's take a look at the exercise, and our task is to choose the correct item to practice. Number 1, certification program requires me to take or taken several tests. So, what will we use after the verb require? To require or requires as it is used here? Of course, we will use the infinitive. So, requires me to take several tests. The next, I told the others meeting or to meet me at the beach after work. Why don't you come along? So, after the verb to tell, what will we use? Of course, the infinitive once again. Let's move to number 3. Robin talked me into to participate or participating in the 24-hour dance marathon. So, talked me into to participate or participating. What do you think? Of course, here we will use the ing. Talked me into participating. Number 4. He appreciated us to help or our helping him prepare for the Halloween party. What will we use after the verb appreciate? Which form of the verb? So, appreciated us or to help or our helping. Here, appreciate our helping. Number 5. To go or going skydiving tomorrow will test how brave you are. So, to go or going. Here we have this verb in the beginning of the sentence. So, we assume that this is a subject. Отже, це буде підметом в реченні. So, we need to use the ing form of the verb, of the gerund here. So, going skydiving tomorrow. Number 6. Don't you need to take or taking a break? You've been working non-stop for over 8 hours. So, which form do we choose here? Of course, it has to be the infinitive. After the verb need, we will use to plus verb. So, don't you need to take a break? Number 7. Us to arrive or our arriving late would be an insult to our dinner hosts. What do you think we should choose here? This is once again the beginning of the sentence. Probably it's a subject. So, we understand that it has to be the ing, which is why our arriving late would be an insult to our dinner hosts. The next one, the last but one, number 8. Beth was excited about meeting or to meet the world-famous photographer. So, excited about meeting or excited about to meet. What do you think? Here we have a preposition about, after which we will use the gerund. So, she was excited about meeting. Number 9. How did you manage getting or to get tickets for that concert? It has been sold out for months. So, what do we use after the verb to manage? Is it to plus infinitive or the ing? Yeah, right. Here we will use the infinitive. So, we'll say that, how did you manage to get tickets for that concert? So, And here we are. Okay, now let's take a look at other words that are followed by either gerund or the infinitive. So, from our previous lesson, one of the previous lessons, you might remember these lists of the verbs. Let's take a look at them once again. So, the verbs that are followed by gerund, which is verb plus ing, are in the first line. So, deny, mention, imagine, tolerate, understand, involve, complete, report, anticipate, recall, and permit. So, these words are followed by ing or gerund. The rest of the words in the second part, they are followed by to plus infinitive. So, such words as expect, to do something, intend, pretend, refuse, so on and so forth, up to decide, to do something. These verbs are followed by the infinitive, to plus verb. Okay, now let's get to practice. Our task is to choose the correct item. Number 1, he expects finishing or to finish his studies next summer. So, do we expect finishing or do we expect to finish? Which form of the verb will we need to use after the verb expect? That will be the infinitive, of course. Expects to finish. Number 2, national park officials do not permit entering or to enter the park without an official guide. So, we've just seen this word. Do you remember what it is? What we use to follow it? Is it gerund or to plus infinitive? Of course, we will use the gerund here. So, ing, entering. The next one, he offered to carrying her books on the way home. Do we offer to do something or do we offer doing something? After the verb offer, we use to plus infinitive. So, he offered to carry her books. The next one, the archaeologist reported finding or to find a large, previously unknown pyramid deep in the jungle. So, do we report doing something or do we report to do something? Of course, here we will use the form with ing. Okay, number 5. Samantha keeps to forget or forgetting to send us the documents. We need to have them by next week. So, she keeps forgetting or she keeps to forget. Which form of the verb is correct to use after the verb to keep? Check yourself. Of course, it's the ing. Keep doing something. She continues forgetting. She keeps forgetting about it. And number 6. Felix decided not accepting or to accept the position in Miami because he wanted to stay in New York. So, do we decide to do something or do we decide doing something? Mind that here we also have the particle not. As you can see, it is right after the verb decide. So, decide is actually followed by to plus infinitive. Let's check. Decided not to accept. Please pay attention that if you have the negative infinitive, the particle not will stand right before to plus infinitive. Отже, якщо у нас інфінітив негативний, заперечення, ми будемо вживати заперечувальну часточку not перед самим інфінітивом. Після основного дієслова, як в даному випадку, decided, not, and then to plus verb. Okay, number 7 now. Exercising and eating, or to exercise and to eat, right, can help you live a long and healthy life. So, what will we use here? The infinitive or the ing form? Of course, this is the beginning of the sentence. We need to use the subject ing, the gerund. It will start the sentence. So, we'll say that exercising and eating, right, can help you live a long and healthy life. Okay, and the last sentence here, number 8. The refugees risked being or to be captured as they tried to escape through the mountains. What will we use here? Which form of the word? The ing or the infinitive? So after the verb to risk, we will use the ing, of course. So the refugees risked being captured as they tried to escape through the mountains. All right, well done. Great job. So this is it for today. You're not going to have a home assignment for the next time because next time you're going to start a new topic. Well, thank you very much for your attention. See you next time. Goodbye.